Ah, as promised, my fellow patrons in the VIP. What's up? It's your boy Carcino here, man. And I want to tell you guys again, man, I appreciate what you do. So I definitely want to make sure I give you guys the best. You know, you guys deserve it. Nothing less. So as we proceed to give you what you need. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. As we proceed. All right. So now, as we proceed, let me go ahead and thank all the VIP members that has lined up. Sharon, thank you, brother. Tavon Manning, Gregory McGee, Trey P, Ernest Rocker, Andrew Wiggins, James Anderson, Donnell, Sammy Romero, James McJimmy, Gilliam Zagoff, The Bandit, Corte, Odelay, Stefan, Sincerely, Sean Green, Raymond Brown, Chris Hill, Jaron Gordon, Daquan, Troy Alexander, Stephen Gardner, Danielle Parra, Michelle Carter, sorry about that, the Marshall Carter, Coco, Jarvis Green, my man Trigger. Welcome. Let's get to it. This is the Suge Knight and Puffy. What was actually said to Puffy after the shooting. But I'm going to take you straight to it. Okay, we're going to cut right to the chase so you will know exactly what's going on. Now, as we proceed to move forward, Suge Knight's best friend and one of his trusted confidants is a man called Big Jake. And Big Jake is a blood. We all know that, right? And if you know that Big Jake and Suge are mad tight. Mad tight. So when you look at them and you say to yourself, man, him and Suge, they roll together, they from the same hood, what have you. But what you don't know is that me and Big Jake, his cousin, we like family. That's what you don't know. OG. You know, that's my family. We ain't blood related, but we damn near family. It's a small world. That's all that means is that. Small world. Now, when you see other developments happen and transpire, you start to say to yourself, well, man, how did this come about? You know, how did this situation blow up the way it did? It's quite simple to us how it blew up. They took a flight out for the Source Awards. But first, it was a phone conversation before the whole Source Award thing even transpired. Biggie had dropped. Biggie had blew up and was doing his thing. Now, while they was doing this, Suge called Puffy. And while he was calling and talking to him, he was trying to get Biggie to do some shows at Club 662. Hey, I was thinking, when you guys come out of California and you make your little debut, blowing up, and you performing your records, we should do it on a big stage where everybody can come out and see you. You guys should do 662 first before you go anywhere else. And they got to arguing over price and how much Biggie should get. Biggie's this big of a star now. His asking price should be this much and that much. And Suge was just like, we'll get somebody else. It got to that point. But now Suge is a little ticked off because when Puff came in the game, Puff was a little dog. And, Snoop and all them, just to be around them, he used to suck up to Death Row. And Suge, now he feel he's a big dog now. Suge don't like that. When you used to grovel, and now here you are, acting like the big dog, and you just sit there like we equals. That's something Suge one didn't like. If you want to equal to Suge, and he always barf, we ain't in the same predicament. See, he owns a record label. I own a whole empire. Death Row, we distribute our own records. We ain't in the same predicament. He got to go ask for permission to do everything. We could do whatever we want. And that's what he always tried to make everyone else understand. Do not compare me to him. So anyway, Big Jake is going over to with Puff. They coming over for the Source Awards. They bringing the whole Death Row out there. They were only gonna get them a certain amount of time and minute. Suge, corrected that with Dave Mays and all this stuff. So they got all the stuff figured out. Everybody got equal time. But they let Death Row kind of go early in the program and kind of let Biggie and them kind of close it out. They both then, near the end of the night. But anyway, Suge get on stage and start talking about Puff. You want to remain a star, you don't want the executive producer all in the videos, dancing. Come to Death Row. So that was it. You don't want the executive producer all in the videos dancing. Come to Death Row. Now, this became a big situation. Puff came out and acknowledged, that comment that was made earlier, I was the one that comment was about, and this and that. And right away, they had a meeting at the tunnel, and they were talking. And while they were talking at the tunnel, after the Source Awards, after the after party, they talking, and he was like, man, I thought we were good. Now, Puff got about 30 people with him. He got Wolf's people, he got all these guys with him, and, Puff got champagne galore, he's Big Willie. And he's like, man, I thought we were good. Thought we was good, Suge. We ain't got no problem. Man, what was that stuff all about on stage, about the executive producer? Oh, man, ain't nothing. I was talking about Jermaine Dupri. He was, because I thought you were talking about me. Nah. But Suge just said that. Because one, Suge ain't on his turf. But he ain't trying to cause no waves here. He know Puff got his chest out because he knows Puff got people with him. He know he in the tunnel. And he could see the power. He could see the movement. You know, he know he off guard. You know, it's only him and Big Jake basically and a couple other dudes from Death Row. But they really not on their turf. So when this was, completed, they came back to Atlanta about, I say, 2 months later. Less than 2 months later, they back in Atlanta. And they picking up on an argument that took place prior. Now, here's what the argument was about. People don't know why the incident took place. Here is why all of this took place. The argument is about Jodeci, Mary J. Blige. See, a lot of people did not realize Jodeci and Mary J. Blige they switched management and went over to Puffy. They went on over to Puffy. I mean, they left Puffy and went over to Suge. Suge was their management. So, somebody just sent me a message while doing this. So now they over there with Puff. I mean, they over there with Suge. They left Puff. And Suge's now the new manager. And getting ready to put stuff out and all this. So, they don't deal with Jodeci no more. Like, they ain't even talking to him, nothing. Jodeci is like on the outs with Puffy and everybody. But Puff is making it hard for people, to do business. Because he trying to manage them. And Suge and him was arguing over some stuff about things that was promised and things that was supposed to get done for Mary J. Blige and Jodeci. Now, the actual terms of what that was, that's something down the line that those two know about. The actual terms of the deal and what they wanted and all of that. But that's how the argument that started inside was about that. And he was making it difficult on Suge. And making it difficult on Mary and Jodeci, where Suge got to deliver. But for certain reasons, things was getting difficult to get done, and Puffy, was doing his best to make it difficult. So they go outside to continue arguing. Puff is drunk. And Puff got like a bottle of champagne that he got. He was drinking sham from the bottle all night. And he outside drinking the mo. Got the bottle in his hand. And he's got Wolf with him. And then Suge got his boy. He only came there with him. When he came down there, he only brought one person with him. That was Big Jake. And Big Jake is a no-nonsense type of guy. He's just, everybody's respectful, keep your tone. And allegedly, words were exchanged somewhere down the line, and Big Jake got shot. Escalated with Puff's bodyguard and him. And, he got shot and went down. And then next thing you know, Suge blames Puff for the whole thing and was like, man, you did this. You set this up for this thing to go down like this. This is a setup. And he was like, man, I didn't set nothing up. I'm like, man, you crazy. But it wasn't really about that. Now, here's what Suge said to Puff after the fact. And when I mean after the fact, I mean after he came back dead, had to bury him and everything. A lot of people ready to, what they call on the West Coast, kicking up some dust. They ready to kick up some dust for real over there. They ain't you. Puffy had problems. He had real problems on his hand for the first time in a long time. So things is getting hot and heavy. And the only way this thing was gonna get rectified, the only way this was gonna get rectified is when Suge contacted him. He got contact through somebody else and they told him, hey, we know what happened. And you want to resolve the situation. Money ain't gonna resolve this. Blood for blood. And you know what I mean? If you don't handle it and take care of it, then that means you condone it. So either you want to send them to me and then I take care of it. And Puff was like, that ain't even part of the question. That's out of the question. I ain't sending nobody nowhere and I ain't doing nothing to him. Then I'll be forced to have to retaliate on you. If somebody who like close to him, a family, they might want to retaliate against you. You know, so that's basically what he was saying is, you know, Sugar's smart enough to not saying, I'm finna come get you, Puffy. You know, he's just saying, hey, then I can't protect you. I can't help you. Now, somebody, you know, he was a somebody. He got a lot of people out here. Now, if they decide to come out there and handle things on their own, it's out of my hands. You know, I try to protect you. I try to get you a way out of this. But it seems like you don't have no control over there and you're supposed to be a boss. So it looked like I got to talk to somebody else who's boss. Because you acting boss. So, and Puff was like, man, do what you got to do, man. And that was that. And from that point on, that was the last part I heard that they ever said to each other about the fact. Now, of course, it's rumored that the person was Wolf. I don't know if it was and wasn't. I won't even insinuate it was. Because I don't know if it was him. But he was the one accused by a lot of different people. And his name was flying around out of a lot of people's mouths. And then there was supposedly a hit put out on him and a reward and all of these different things. And it's crazy, you know. So a lot of things transpired after the fact that basically went on for years before another situation ended up taking the life of Puffy's friend and bodyguard Wolf, in which other people was like on the West Coast and other areas were like celebrating, you know, that he had passed, which I think is sick, but people were celebrating that fact, you know. Big Jake had people that loved him and hurt a lot of people that happened. I don't know what happened to make that happen, that situation. You know, go to that far where it got escalated to. But when he did that, Puffy had problems. And he should have took that a little bit more serious. Because that one event changed the course of hip hop history forever. So a lot of lives are not here no more because of it. So thanks again for your time. I'm out.